Hello everyone, hope you all are safe and sound. Today I will share my review and experience of my first attempt of the Parda Mutton Biryani. I will share the recipe that I followed making it. So first we begin with the mutton biryani preparation. For that I used 750 grams of mutton for this recipe. Prepare some fried cashews and fried onions. I used half cup of cashews as my kids are cashew lovers. Well, I don't really care to cut the cashews in half. I always add them as whole only. Fry one large somewhat thinly sliced onions. Add a little sugar to fasten the browning process. Use half of the onions for marinating the mutton and the other half for garnishing the biryani. Keep aside the cashews for garnishing the biryani later. Use the oil used for frying onions for marinating the mutton so that it adds more flavor to the mutton. Add little more fresh oil to it to make a total of half cup. So next, keep all the ingredients ready for marinating the mutton. Wash the mutton well and then add few spices such as half teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon garam masala, 2 teaspoon red chili powder, 1 teaspoon coriander powder, 1 teaspoon cumin powder and 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Make sure to mix each ingredient well before adding the next. Then add 1 tablespoon of ginger paste and 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. Mix well again. Now time to add some whole spices like 3 bay leaves, 5 cloves, 2 small pieces of mace, half-inch nutmeg, 4 green cardamoms and 2 star anise. Out of that, add the bay leaves, the cardamoms and the star anise directly to the mutton and mix well. Next, add in 8 to 10 or 2 tablespoons of dried plums. Now crush the cloves, mace and nutmeg in a mortar and pestle and add this ground mix to the marinade and mix that too. Add half cup crushed fried onions and 1 cup of curd and mix thoroughly. Lastly, add half cup of fresh as well as the cashew onion flavored oil to the marinade. Combine everything well. Cover and refrigerate it for minimum 2 hours or overnight for best results. I kept it for 2 hours. The next step is to soak the rice for the biryani. For the biryani rice, wash and soak 2 cups of basmati or any biryani rice that you have for minimum 45 minutes to maximum 2 hours. I soaked it for 2 hours. While the mutton is marinating and the rice is soaking, prepare the dough for the parda. For that, you will need 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, 2 tablespoons of curd and 2 tablespoons of oil to prepare the dough. The dough should be like that of a normal chapati dough, that is soft, pliable and non-sticky. I used 1 and 1/4 cup of water to knead this dough. Cover and keep aside until required. Now, after around 2 hours of marination, it's time to cook the mutton in a pressure cooker until the steam starts coming out. Since we have added everything while marinating, even the oil, so now no need to add anything except salt if needed. Shallow fry some washed and peeled whole potatoes in ghee until slightly golden brown. Adding potatoes is optional. Since kids love it, I added them. Now add it into the mutton mix along with its ghee and pressure cook it for 2 whistles. If you are using any meat tenderizer or soaking the mutton overnight, then only 1 whistle is enough, as longer the resting time, softer the meat will be. So here, after 2 whistles, allow it to cool and then cook until the meat and the potatoes are tender and until almost most of the water has evaporated, as watery mutton masala can make the parda soggy. Slow cook the mutton and potato mix without the weight and keep mixing occasionally to avoid sticking at the bottom. Lastly, add 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice. So now the mutton masala is ready and it's time to cook the rice. Heat around 5 to 6 cups of water in a large pan. Add 2 bay leaves, 2 star anise, 3 green cardamoms and some salt to taste. Add 1/4 teaspoon of ghee and 2 drops of lime juice. Add the washed, soaked and drained rice to the pan. Mix well, cover and allow it to boil. Now add 1 cap of kevra water and 1 cap of rose water for some nice biryani aroma and added flavor. You can skip this if you don't have, as it's optional. Cook until it's almost 90% done. Strain the rice and keep aside. Now it's time for dum. So keep all the items like chopped coriander and chopped pudina, that is mint, also ready for the dum. This time, dum is not in any pan but in the parda, so clean and dust the counter. Grease the chapati dough prepared earlier and also the counter if required with some oil. Roll the entire dough to a giant patty. The size depends on the pan that you will use for dum. You can even divide the dough to make 2 parda biryanis. Brush some oil all over to avoid sticking to itself. Fold it into half. Brush little more oil to this layer and then shape it to a triangle for easy lifting. Grease a pan with some oil. Lift the dough and place it on the pan. Gently open the folds, stretch and cover the pan well. Keep all the ingredients required for the dum ready and now layer the biryani as you would normally do for any dum biryani by adding some coriander, mint, rice, fried onions, cashews, boiled milk with some kesar and 2 drops of food color, which is optional, mutton masala, and then again repeat the same layers until you finish the cooked mutton masala and the rice and all the prepared garnishing items. I cut all the potatoes into half to fit inside. Now add 1 cap of rose water and 1 cap of kevra water. Then slowly pull and cover and close the biryani with the dough. Place the pan on high heat for only 3 minutes. Add little more oil around the corners to avoid sticking to the pan. Check if the dough moves around the pan when tilted and then carefully flip it over to another pan to cook the other side on slow flame for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, it's ready to serve. Serve it directly on a very large tray covered with some foil or baking sheet so that once the parda is cut, it doesn't spill over everywhere. So though this looks fabulous, my honest opinion is that practically it's not worth the effort. That's because this biryani is good if everyone can sit together and eat from just one plate, but to cut and serve this in individual plates, it really creates a kind of mess. Moreover, making one parda for each member or for guests, if in case, will make you toil in the kitchen doing the dum for each person, and so again, practically not a good choice to include in menu if you have guests. Secondly, what I observed was that a lot of rice gets stuck on the roti, that is the parda, and it's difficult to eat the entire parda covering as it gets little heavy to digest because of its hardness, I would say. So in my opinion, simple dum biryani in a pot, pan, etc. is always better than a parda biryani. Anyways, maybe for a change once in a while you can try it out too. So that was my first attempt of the parda biryani. Hope you all enjoyed watching me make it. So as always, see you soon. Until then, stay safe, goodbye and take care.